all right, I'm back with math for this week. We are looking at, our first topic is doing addition using expanded form. So remember, expanded form is taking and breaking down our numbers into our hundreds, our tens, our ones column. So we're taking and expanding that number. So let's look at adding 65 plus 24. So our first step is to take 65 and to expand it. So we have 6 groups of 10, which is 60, and we have 5 ones. 24, with the number 24, we have 2 groups of 10, so we have 20, and we have 4 ones. When we're using expanded form to add, we are then going to add the number of ones we have. So we have 5 ones plus 4 ones is 9 ones. Now we're going to add how many tens we have. So we have 60 plus 20, so that gives us 80. And our next step is to add 80 plus 9, and we come up with 89. So our answer for 65 plus 24 using expanded form for addition, the sum is 89. A couple other words I wanted to go over with you is the first word is partition. I know it's been a little while since we've talked about that word partition. That means that you are splitting. Okay, so partition, to break apart. Remember, when we talk about partition, we're usually talking about fractions, which means our groups, or when we split something, it has to have equal parts. So as you're looking at Monday's activity right here for the daily work, it asks you to partition. It says Chick wants to share his pie with his 3 friends. Show 2 ways he can partition his pie. So partition. So he has his piece of pie right here. So we want to split that pie into 3 equal pieces. So he wants to share his pie with 3 friends. Okay. So taking that pie and splitting it and trying to figure out a way to break that into 3 equal parts. Remember, when we are looking at circles for fractions, putting that dot in the center can help us, give us a starting point of how we can break that into 3 equal pieces. On Tuesday's activity, there is a key word in there that is the word parallel. So parallel. I want to make sure I spell it right for you. It's a tricky one. All right, so parallel, it talks about lines on a shape. Remember, if they are parallel lines, they are 2 lines that never cross. So if we look at if we're looking at a square right here, a square has 2 sets of parallel lines in the shape. So they have right here and here is 1 set. If we just kept drawing a line straight up and down here, those lines would never cross. So parallel, they can never cross over. And then if we look, so there would be 1 set of parallel lines. Let me redraw here. And then if we draw a line across here and here, there's another set of parallel lines. So a square has 2 sets of parallel lines. Go ahead and we're going to just look at a triangle. If we draw our triangle like this, if we take these sides and turn them into lines, they actually cross over. So they cross each other, or they intersect at these points right here. So they intersect or they cross, which means that they have no parallel lines. So no parallel lines. A triangle does not fit the description of a shape with parallel lines. Okay, on Wednesday's work, something that you are asked to do is to draw an array. So remember, array is related to multiplication and addition. So we had not done too much multiplication, although some of you have started doing multiplication on our programs like SumDog, or just on your own at home. So an array shows if we have 6 plus 6 plus 6, we have 3 groups of 6, or we can even write it 3 times 6. So that first number lets us know how many groups that we have, and then we're timesing it or adding it 6 times. So if we were to build an array, we have 3 groups. So we would have, if we were building an array, we could draw here, and we have 3 groups. So we're gonna go down here, and then each one of these groups has 6. If you want to use X's, you can use any symbol that works best for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we're building arrays, if you're doing it like this, it's very important that you line up your whatever symbol you're choosing to use. So it is showing that we have 3 groups of 6. All right, so if we have 3 groups of 6, we have 6 plus 6 plus 6, and that will give us, or 3 times 6 gives us a total of 18. On Thursday, you are asked to create a line plot. So remember, line plot is a way to show data. So it is asking you to record the data involving different farms and the number of roosters. So labeling our line plots, we have the number of roosters on the side, and we have our farms down below. So we have our line, and remember, line plots, we record our data using X's every single time. So Farber Farms, they have 6 roosters, so we went ahead and put 6 X's right above Farber Farms. Remember, each one of these X's represents 1 rooster. Cranberry Farms, if you look at your data, it shows Cranberry Farms has 5 roosters, so we are going to go ahead and put 5 X's above Cranberry Farms. Remember, it is important to keep your X's lined up and also next to each other, so that it is easy for whoever's looking at your line plot, that they can easily read and see how many roosters, for example, there are at each farm. On Friday, you are asked to partition a rectangle into rows and columns. So partition, remember we talked about that on Monday, so that means that you are splitting a rectangle up into different rows and columns. Remember, rows go straight across and columns go up and down. I always think of rows as when you are walking across a row at a movie theater. So you are moving along a row, so you're walking straight across. So this particular array right here has 1, 2, 3 rows, and columns go straight up and down. I always think about maybe the White House and how they have those big white pillars in front, and those go straight up and down. Those are like columns. So this particular array has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So there's 3 rows and 4 columns. If you have any questions this week about math, please have Mom and Dad either email me or text me. I am happy to help. All right, hope everyone's doing really well, and hopefully you're able to complete your math this week.